If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in summer.
As they say in opera, they call me Russell Christopher. Mi chiamano Russell Christopher. That's from La Boheme, by the way. I'm here to tell you all about my fabulous, ambiguous career. Born in the state of the glorious, wonderful state of Michigan. Went to the University of Michigan there, of course. Ann Arbor, go blue. And inevitably, of course, I ended up at the University of Michigan, where I was soloist of the baritone soloist of the Glee Club for four glorious years, for the happiest of my life. Rushing ahead to more glorious days when I finally got to the Metropolitan, people would say, "Oh, and you went directly from the campus to the Met?" I said, "Yes, I was an overnight success after 10 years." That was a wonderful. In the meantime, I did things like supper clubs and Italian restaurants, and forgive me, Lord, I even sang in church once in a while. Oh, I'd rather sing Rigoletto on Saturday night than an anthem on Sunday morning. It's one of those things that now and then doesn't ring. Oh, well, I was singing, they tell me, I was a little young at the time. I was singing Wagon Wheels with Bing Crosby when I was 3 years old. That is, the radio, not to the radio, not in the radio. But I was singing very early on. I remember my mother reminding me that when I was in the 4th or 5th grade, I changed schools and was introduced to the class and so on. And I used to sing. I used to sing in front of the class when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. When I went to this other school in the 5th grade, I was broken-hearted one night when I came home from school, and I said, "Oh, Mom, they didn't ask me to sing." Well, now they ask me not to, but that's another story. I began vocal study actually at the age of 16 with a fellow named Frank Goodwin, who was, if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be anywhere, because he gave me marvelous inkling of the basics of vocal production. In the meantime, at that point, in 18, 19, I did things like in my hometown, Grand Rapids, Search for a Star, and I was a star, and I came in first place, and I got a wristwatch. Wristwatch. I've had a few since that I'm working a little better at this point. And about that same time, I was on the original Amateur Hour and won my first turn and was projected to the next week. And I told them what I wanted to sing, and they said, "No, you're going to do this instead of that." And of course, I came in second, so I had a feeling that they planned to have me lose. But that's showbiz. And later on, when I finally got to New York, and my name was known a little bit better, I was on another program on a radio program on ABC called Musical Tent Show of the Air, where I did a Broadway tune. It wasn't exactly opera, but that was something yet to come. Oh yeah, one of the, and it looks like an inside job, doesn't it? Frank Goodwin, who was my voice teacher, was also the conductor and director of Grand Rapids Schubert Club, which was an all-male chorus. God bless them, a good bunch. Each year, the designated senior in each high school in the area brought forth a candidate to appear on the Schubert Club contest. And I, as a student at the Grand Rapids Union High School, I was chosen to be their representative. And lo and behold, I came off number one, and I got a scholarship of $100 to a music school of my choice. So since it was only $100, I went to the Grand Rapids Junior College, which was about as far away from music as you could guess. So I continued my study with Frank Goodwin, who was a marvelous teacher. And I repeat, if it weren't for him, I don't think I would have gotten to first base with this career it didn't go as far as I wanted, but it went farther than I thought it would. So all's well that ends well. From here, in those 28 years, according to the annals, I did 1,410 performances of about. I learned about 105 roles, 87 of which I was privileged to stand on that grand stage and perform many times. The most I think of all was the opera Carmen. I did every baritone role that there is in there. Morales, Don Cairo, the Toreador. I couldn't sing mezzo-soprano, so I never got around to do that sort of thing. But I did over 350 performances of Carmen. I did, what was the other one? Tosca. I did about 300 performances of Tosca. I never got to do the lead there, unfortunately, although I did it elsewhere. I did the part of Sciarrone, that was about 300 times. And it all adds up to 1410, as they tell me. I never kept track myself. Well, as far as some of my colleagues on the big stage, you may have heard of people like Placido Domingo or Pavarotti or Dame Sutherland or let's see, and of course conductor-wise, I did particularly with Carmen. I did with Leonard Bernstein, and of course Jimmy, Sir Jimmy, who is currently the #1 conductor at the Met. Pavarotti and I got along very well. Of course, he was very congenial with everybody. He couldn't remember anybody's name, so everybody was, "Hello, my friend. How are you, my friend? Today there. How are you, my friend?" Everybody was his friend. Unfortunately, he's gone to that big opera house in the sky at this point. He was a grand colleague, as was and is Domingo. It seems that the bigger they are, in my book anyway, the bigger they are, the nicer they are. And I don't know how big I was, but I tried to be friendly. I was at the San Francisco Opera for 2 seasons, New York City Opera for 2 seasons, and smaller festival type things like Chautauqua in upstate New York, Central City, Colorado, and places like Toronto, Vancouver, Philadelphia, where I did the biggest role I experienced in Wagner, the part of Kotner and Meistersinger, and let's see, Baltimore. So I've been around, and I would guess that, including my appearances with symphony orchestras like Montreal, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Richmond, Virginia, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Of course, I had to go. You know, they say you can't go home again. Well, I was invited to do so, and I did. 2 or 3 times they invited me to be guest artist, and among them, lo and behold, was the still aforementioned Schubert Club. It's been a mixed career for me, but isn't that fun? My son. The most wonderful day of my life was the day he was born, and he has proven to be the best son any man could ever hope to be. He's only helpful to me today, but he could have been a singer. He had a fine voice. I even gave him a few lessons to get him on his way, and he, as a freshman at the Miami of Ohio University, he auditioned for, they were doing an all-campus show, the Broadway version of Pirates of Penzance, and he auditioned in the hope that he would be in the chorus, and lo and behold, they gave him the part of the Pirate King. And he, just like the old man, he was fantastic. And he continues now to be just as fantastic to me. Very helpful, very thoughtful, very considerate, and as every father should, and I certainly do. I love him like crazy. It was a glorious, glorious experience, and I miss it very much. I wish I were able to do that, but in effect, I haven't really done much over the last couple of years, and as they say, use it or lose it. So I'm going to very much attempt to get into shape so that I can sing for my friends and kinfolk down here in Charlotte. I could sing Sam and Janet Evening, or Some Expensive Evening, Some Enchanted Evening.
But if I'd ever leave you, it couldn't be in autumn. How I'd leave in autumn, I never